Hi, everyone. It's Dr. Velvet, the metaphysician, and we're here with our weekly podcast when we're speaking with wellness practitioners, not just massage therapists, but we're talking about anybody who is in the wellness sector. And this week has been powerful. Now, it's only Monday, so I guess I'm talking about last week. It was powerful, extremely powerful. So with that being said, over the last few weeks, we've been having a deeper conversation about structure, about sustainability, about the difference between being booked and built to last. That would have been a great title for my book too, but the title of my book is Built to Hold, because it is containers, it is holding you. And today I want to share a little more about why this conversation matters so much to me. And it's not about numbers. It's not about having followers. It's not about competing with other people who are online to get attention. It really is not. Why this is important to me is because this didn't come from theory. And if you've read either of my books, if you've read Book Solid and Still Broke, that book may make you cry just like it did me. And if you read Built to Hold or Build to Hold, you're going to be empowered. You're going to see what I saw, and you'll see some ways that you can build structure in such a way that you actually don't feel burnt out. You feel creative and alive. So again, this didn't come from theory. It came from watching what happens to talented practitioners over time. Now, it started with me, and I was fortunate enough to work with a chiropractor that had some structure in place that allowed me to see something that I was working my butt off, and yet it seemed like his job was very easy, and it wasn't tied to the amount of time at the table for the income that was coming in. So I've been in the wellness field for more than 30 years. Actually, I started in the healthcare field first. I was a nurse first. Then I had my children. I was a single parent and went into education so that I could be at their school. I was a director of an amazing private school and daycare. So I got to be with my children all the time. And that just wasn't paying the bills. So I went into x-ray, and in x-ray is where I was recruited as a marketing director because I had a business sense. And I didn't know what I was doing, folks. I'll just have to be honest with you. I just thought I was doing what everybody does. I didn't know I had any special talents. But that job was killing me because marketing director with 15 states under me, it was quite grueling. And so one day one of my reps said, "You'd make a great massage therapist." I was like, "I don't know what makes you think that." But he kept after me. And so I decided to go to the open house and I fell in love with it and the light bulb went off. The light bulb is, oh, I know exactly how to market this. I didn't even worry about clients. I was just excited about how I would market it. And then that's where I've been in the field of massage and quantum biofeedback for 30 years. And in massage therapy, I was teaching anatomy and physiology. And I was working alongside practitioners who truly cared about helping people. And what I saw over time, over and over again, was something that didn't sit right with me. Some of the most skilled therapists I knew were exhausted. Well, they hit it well. They were hiding it very well. And it wasn't because they lacked passion, but because their entire livelihood depended on their physical output. Their hands, their bodies, their ability to show up day after day. And eventually I realized something very important. This wasn't about a skill problem. They were very skilled. It was a structure problem. Now, sometimes when I say that word structure, therapists think they know what I'm talking about. And that's not their fault. It's because it's not trained. We haven't been trained to build practices that have structure. What we've been trained to do is to build practice around effort instead of reinforcement. Let me say that to you again, because I really want this to land well with you. And this is for all wellness practitioners. This is not just massage therapists. When we go to school, we learn how to do the modality. So we are trained to build practice around effort instead of reinforcement. This is for all holistic. And it even goes for chiropractors. The only reason that it was different for the chiropractor I was working with is because he too had business experience and he was applying it into his practice. And he also worked with other doctors that knew marketing, knew how to build businesses. Sorry about the air quotes. I just really want to emphasize it. That's what I'm doing. So even though sometimes when I start talking about these things on social media, I have a lot of people that will jump on board to chime in, but it always goes back to effort. And this isn't about our effort. And that's really what guides my work now. I believe talented practitioners deserve more than a career built on endurance. They deserve structure, support, and systems that allow their work to continue without costing them their health or their future. That's why I've been so passionate about the conversations we're having around scaling and structure. Because when you reinforce the practitioner, everything changes. The work deepens, the pressure lifts, and the future starts to look very, very, very different. So if you've been following along with these conversations on LinkedIn, now you know a little more about where they're coming from. Not theory, experience. And I put that experience in 2 of my books. And when we think about the experience, I truly believe that this profession deserves better structure than the ones we were given. If this resonates, I'm glad you're here. And the conversations are just getting started. So with that being said, I truly appreciate each and every one of you that have been engaging, asking the right questions, deepening your thought. It's not about me telling you what to think, but rather how to think it through. Because ultimately, it will be your structure that will send you over the top. But I can give you ideas. I can give you a way to begin. And in Build the Whole, I do give you some examples. Because I know what it's like to read a book and hear a new concept and think, okay, well, now how do I do this? So you'll be able to use those examples in several areas within your practice just to kind of open your mind and see all of the opportunities and potential. Because ultimately, the reason that I am here, and I hope you can feel this from my heart right now, is because I've been where you've been. And I want so much more for everyone because I know what it feels like to finally have the life that allows you to live while also doing what you love. I want that for you because I had it and I still have it. And I know what it feels like to wake up every single day excited about life, excited about living, excited about all of the possibilities and opportunities. And each one of us are a divine spark of that individualized light. So we're all going to experience it in different ways, but maybe a little similar as well. So until next week, have an amazing week because you deserve it. Take care.